primary.
Some critics say there are way too many debates, but Mark Thiessen says we actually need more of them. He's a former speechwriter for George W. Bush. Mark, what can we get out of more debates?
Well, you know, you're right. There's a lot of people who are starting to say we've had too many of these. But look, the voters disagree. If you think about it, I mean, Fox News has had 3 debates since May. The first debate in May, you had about 3.3 million viewers. The last debate in September, you had 6.1. And the same is true for the other networks. I mean, Americans are voting with their remotes. They love these debates because they are allowing them to get a real look at the candidates for the first time in a way that's never happened in any other election. And you've got the news about Herman Cain, how he's doing in Iowa. He would have never had a chance if it hadn't been for the debates. So I think the debates have been a democratizing process. They've taken the decision power out of the hands of the establishment and put it in the hands of the voters. I think it's been terrific.
But you look at this schedule, Mark, and November 9th, 12th, and 15th, we're talking about a 6-7 day period, 3 debates. And then in December, we've got 4 more. We've got 7 debates in 2 months. And you know the knock on these things is that we're getting 30-second sound bites from these candidates. We're not really getting to meet them, getting them in our living room, getting them in our family room. What do you say about that criticism?
Well, I don't remember the last time a candidate has come to my family room, so you know, it doesn't. Not all of us get that privilege.
Well, the folks in Iowa are good proof of that. They're not seeing Herman Cain or Mitt Romney.
Well, you know what, though, the 30-second, people complaining about 30-second sound bites, I mean, as opposed to previous elections where it would have been decided by 30-second ads, I mean, there's a famous story. Paul Begala, who was a Democratic consultant, was working for Harris Wofford, Senate candidate, and Wofford was saying, I can't speak in sound bites, and he said, I can't explain my health care plan in sound bites, it's too complicated. And he took out a Bible and a stopwatch, and he said, I want you to read John 3:16, and so Wofford read, and God so loved the world that he gave his only son, that whoever believes in him shall have eternal life. And Begala clicked it and said 8 seconds. And he said, now, if God can explain the basis of Christianity in 8 seconds, you could explain your health care plan.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I think 30 seconds is plenty of time.
Very quickly, the news this morning is that Rick Perry has agreed to the next 5 upcoming debates after there was some question of whether he would bow out. So that you obviously support that and think that voters will be served.
Absolutely. Look, Rick Perry has improved as the debates have gone on. I mean, part of the process of debating is not just exposing who can and can't debate. I mean, imagine if Perry hadn't debated and then he was the nominee and showed up against Obama and put in the performance in those debates that he put in the first 3 of the Republican primary. The election would be lost. But he's getting better. And the way he's going to come back is by putting in consistently better and better performances. So I think the debates are most important for Rick Perry as opposed to any of the other candidates right now.
You better believe he's getting better. He couldn't get worse after the early performances. Mark Thiessen, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks for having me on.
An Iranian pastor is awaiting his fate after being thrown in prison in Iran for refusing to renounce his Christianity. Now reports that Iran is feeding him propaganda. We have the